we're live. Right,
What
John.
was that?
So, what's that? What the new intro?
Wait,
Yeah.
I feel like is this Babe Station or Claret and Booze, mate?
Look,
what was
look,
all the neon
we've
stuff?
got a new collaboration. I'm just getting ready for the big announcement. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. People are watching us, so it is working. We're using new software as per the silly video I done last night. Thank you all for joining me for that. And we had a bit of a palaver just trying to get set up because Gary was having a panic because his green screen weren't working. Wouldn't you?
I just had a green screen. I had nothing on it.
And then John, I ticked the box for John because he ain't got a green screen behind him. I tried to be funny with him, and his eyes and his tongue turned fucking yellow, didn't they? And I couldn't turn it off again. Shall I see if I can do it? Shall I see if I can do it again? Look, hang on. Where is he?
Yeah, go on, do it again, Nick. Really mug me off. Yeah.
Go on.
Barney McGrew, review bar start. What?
What's that?
They're coming in. Neil from Down Under. If Neil from Down Under's found us, anyone can.
At least we can see the chat. You know what I mean? Because I was a bit worried. I was a bit worried we wouldn't see it.
Can you actually see it your end? Yeah.
We can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see it on the right, but I don't know. Who's controlling it to put it under your head?
That would be me, as I'm the pilot. Right.
So this is very amateurist, people. We're talking about production.
Hello, Neil. You all right? How's it going? Where are we? There's Lawrence. There's Mr. Moyes out. Eastside Views. How you doing?
Yeah.
Glenn Marshall. New claim, Claret and Bum.
He means the Babe Station reference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a word of warning. By the end of the show, Nick will be wearing sexy lingerie.
I will be. It's all about
part of the deal. Part of the deal. Evening, Sahil.
Right, okay. So what we're going to be doing today, I mean, we're all suffering with a little bit of already. It's only been a few days, but like I said in the show last night, I'm very respectful. I know that it's a right thing to do and everything else, but I am missing football, aren't you?
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. I think I honestly, I know it's sort of, it's all been very sad and everything else, but I've had a bit of a royal overdose in the last couple of days. Has to be said. There's been,
Go on, Gal, sorry.
Well, I just think it was a nonsense cancelling football and letting the rugby and cricket go ahead.
Yeah, I thought the cricket was. I thought the cricket was cancelled. I thought that they took the lead and the Premier League were following them.
No, it went ahead.
Well, they cancelled it. They cancelled it for a couple of days, and it started resumed on the Saturday. Yeah. I think the concern, the rumours that you've heard, probably you've heard it and others have heard it. The concern is that some football teams' fans may not have been as respectful for a minute's silence or whatever you want to do for the Queen. So I think there was a little bit of a concern with that. But also, I think you've got to remember maybe Prince William, he's affiliated with the FA in some way, isn't he? Like he's some sort of, ambassador to the FA or something. Yeah. So maybe there's that extra respect there. I don't know what it is really.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm more inclined to believe the explanation that was on the radio is that they look at rugby and cricket fans as kind of people good gentlemen who watch the game respectfully and sing God Save the Queen and stuff like that, whereas football fans, they see us as just a little bit scummy.
Yeah, do you think it's anything to do with the Liverpool game? Do you know when they did what they did?
Possibly. They don't want.
Paul Evans blame the Scousers for no football.
Well, what did they do? I missed it. I don't know what happened.
Well, I think the Scousers are anti-establishment and they're largely anti-monarchy, right, as well. So, they would probably take it as a good opportunity to boo. Which, frankly, whether you're like me, I'm not really a monarchist or a royalist or whatever, right? But I think it's very disrespectful of other people who are genuinely mourning and upset to do something like that, to start basically taking the piss, right? So you should be respectful, even if it ain't your bag.
But the trouble is, you can't rely on football fans to be like that. We were fantastic, but and the issue is, I think, as Barney says here, one round of games cancelled. Yeah, look, is it too much? Yeah. Is it too much of a sacrifice? Really?
No, of course not. Of course it ain't. Of course it ain't.
But the question does arise where you see other sports going ahead, and you think, what are we like? Are we like the bottom of the pile? That's what I've got no problem with it being cancelled. But in my mind, it should have been all sport as a nationwide respect thing. Just because it then makes football fans feel like a little bit inferior. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But I'm not worried about losing the game. Of course not.
No, because there was plenty of stuff going on yesterday as well. There was like the accession and all that other stuff that was going on, and I thought
horse racing was cancelled apparently.
Yeah, so I started to think that I started to think watching the telly yesterday, it was quite a full program of events. So I thought, oh, that's why they've cancelled it, because there's quite a lot of royal stuff going on.
Yeah.
That's a proper old ceremony, isn't it? That we're swearing in a new king and the accession and all that sort of stuff. And I was just, that's what I thought. And then because I didn't realise rugby and cricket was going ahead, and when I found that out, I just thought it was a little bit weird, a little bit odd, But what they did was it was the FA's decision, right? The FA could have gone ahead. They basically, the government left it up to the authorities to make their own judgment call.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Chris says, look, at least Liverpool are away next weekend. I mean, yeah.
Well, they're away next weekend to Chelsea. Now, the word on the street at the moment is that all games next weekend in London will be cancelled because obviously the Metropolitan Police are going to be working, overtime, planning and manning the funeral, the state funeral on the Monday. Yeah. Right. So all games. Again, it will be traced back to Liverpool because Liverpool are actually due to play away at Chelsea in London, right? Yeah. But it's apparently nothing to do with that, right? It's to do with London Games and London Police, so you can understand that.
Yeah, that's Roman Emperor Phil Ruggiero has just said that demands on policing cause of cancellations, not enough coppers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, it's one game of football, one weekend. And it's respectful, I suppose, and but if you're a football fan, it doesn't take long for you to miss football, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's he say? I took my missus to the cricket. Was
cricket today, yesterday, and they were singing the new national anthem, "God Save the King."
He was probably singing "Moyes Out" at the cricket.
But I thought it was a great opportunity for people who go and watch sport. Ignore the idiots, right? If they were worried about Liverpool booing the national anthem or something, then they should have televised it, but not shown the booing, right? You have got an option of whether to show it or not. You don't have to show it. They could have just done a blackout across the media on any people dissenting, right? They could have just made it upbeat. So I think that's a bit of a nonsense excuse, to be honest. I don't know. I just think it would have been a great opportunity for like what happened at West Ham the other night, but on a grander scale, across the country, people showing their respects. I mean, it was quite moving in at London Stadium the other night. It was.
Yeah, it was because we didn't look. No one knew how to react. Like when you got the news of the Queen dying, I'm not a royalist. I'm not anti-royal. I just respect them because they're there.
Yeah.
And then when you went along to the game, I didn't know what was going to happen, but it was like a coming together, and it was like a pulling together of fans and a common flow of strength, mourning, whatever you want to call it. And if you're a sports fan, there's nothing better than being alongside your sort of fellow fan, and sort of all clubbing together. And I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, it was.
Cheers, Eastside. Thanks for that, mate.
Does he love the new Babe Station channel? Or?
He does, yeah.
Do you love the sexy new look and feel?
He does. Yes, going by his profile picture of it, and he does like it. Yeah, yeah.
Can we zoom
home from home?
Will be interesting next Sunday. Then we're at Everton. Yeah, indeed.
Big Fat Frank and the Onana derby. Onana versus Declan Rice.
That's going to be interesting. That really is. I mean, what do you reckon is going to happen here? Because obviously, look, we've got the upcoming fixtures. I mean, we've kind of. Do you feel like we've dodged a bullet not playing Newcastle now, or do you think it would have been a good time to play them with the players they had injured? I think it probably would have been a good time to play them, wouldn't it?
100%. Like we said the other night, they were missing 3 key players, wasn't they?
Yeah.
So Maximan, Wilson, and the Gumieres, the Brazilian, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not gonna start having a go at Moyes and loading up, ammunition for Nick or whatever, right? But it doesn't matter that Newcastle had players injured. We would still approach that game in exactly the same way, whether they've got players injured or not.
Tony's got a very good point here. He's going to have 2 weeks now on the training ground. So
yes,
how many?
He's not.
But what I'm saying is now, I think we're at the stage now. We've all got to agree. The 5 games now that we've got coming up, these 5 games, which will take us to 11, sort of 12 games into the season. we've got to be getting a portion of points from these games, haven't we? We ain't got to go and win them all, but we've got to be getting some points from these games, and the trouble is, I think you mentioned it the other day, John, when we spoke.
What's that?
When Moyes first took over, West Ham had an identity. You knew what we was all about. It was very clear. The issue that we've got now is I don't really feel like we've got much of an identity at the moment. I feel like, and you can say it's because of a transition, because of this, that, the other. But when you look at us and the way that we're trying to approach games and play, I don't know. I don't really know what we're all about at the minute.
I think you've got to respect, Nick, and it's all going to hark back to January, right? You've got to respect it is a huge transitional period. Numbers coming in, numbers going out. But not only that, it's a transitional period for the type of players that we're bringing in. And where I disagree with you in some aspects, I agree with you in other aspects. Yes, it is down to Moyes now to incorporate that new style, if that's indeed what we're looking to become. But at the minute, because we're in transition, we don't look comfortable as a counter-attack team or a possession team to me. Yep. We look hurried and rushed at all times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that. And I think, you've got to give Moyes time. I mean, the thing that he's trying at the moment is to... The thing he's trying at the moment is to fit the new pieces in, and he'll try something new, and then halfway through the game, when it ain't working, he'll back out to something he knows and something he trusts, right? But I don't see anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, it is a results business, and number one, he's got to get a result, just like he did against Bucharest the other night, just like he should have done against Chelsea the week before. He is gonna do that from time to time. But hopefully, as time goes on and these new players get introduced and they start getting used to the players around them, it's a big thing for someone like, Paqueta, for instance, who's going to be basically the focal point of the team in attack, right? Very difficult to just expect a player like that in such a pivotal position.
Paqueta is going to be the focal point.
Yeah, he's going to be the focal point in attack. Of course he is. Everything's going to go through him. That's got to be the idea, right?
I know, but we've not seen that yet. He's playing more as an 8, isn't he?
Well, no, not when he came on against Bucharest the other night. When he came on against Bucharest, he was playing very, very advanced, just behind the striker. He was in that number 10 role, proper number 10 role, right? So I think that's where he's going to be. And you can't just slit into. It's like when he came on from the bench and he'd done a few tricks and everything else, and then he started against Chelsea. He's not going to look like, a comfortable attacking number 10 inside a couple of games.
He's not going to look like a comfortable attacking number 10 unless we've got the players up and around him to spot his runs, because the type of number 10 that he is, I thought he might be the type of player that we could give the ball to just in the centre circle, and he could go on a mazy run and run around a load of players. Yeah. He isn't that type of player.
No, he's not. He plays.
He knits play.
Pass.
And the issue that we've got is, if we don't build around him, we could make him look world class, or we could make him look shit. If we haven't got players that are making the right runs, like for instance when he first came on the other day, John, he threaded that ball through 3 players. I ain't got a fucking clue how he saw that pass, but he executed it. Cornet done something. He tripped over or fell over or something, didn't he? But that
Cornet just wasn't aware of that pass even being able to get to him, and he just tripped over his own feet because he was surprised that it got to him. But we said the other day that it's not just him getting used to players; his players getting used to him. And if he is next level that we think he is, then that could take time in itself.
Yeah, but the issue that we got here, like Chris Lockwood has said, thus far this season, we didn't play every man behind the ball in the first half against Bucharest. We didn't. It was just shit in the first half.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
But we have typically set up the first 45 minutes of every game. Even against Villa, we parked the bus in the first half against Villa. What I'm saying is he can't do that every game going forwards. He physically can't.
We did, but you can find a reason for that. Like against Villa, it was really important for us to get a result in that, critical that we got a result. And then Chelsea, he would have expected more from Chelsea, and that's why he set up, I'm convinced of it, that way in the first half to pretty much defend. I disagree with it. I don't think he should have done it. I think Chelsea were there for the taking. We all know that now. But I think he realised that by half time, then changed it around.
Do you think he's going to, with how important these games are that are coming up, when do you think he's going to feel like he can go? Because every game's going to be important. Every game is going to be like Villa.
I don't think this is where the bone of contention is for me, right? Somebody's put it in the chat there, Nick, but obviously you've got control of it, so I can't put it up. But
what is it, mate?
it's a basic comment. So East Side views, we know his take on Moyes. That's fine. I respect his views and I respect
this one
him.
here?
No, there's one. He just says we are boring to watch, and I think a lot of it is that West Ham fans and West Ham as a club have always been known as the academy and will play good, open, expansive football. Moyes won't do that. Right, Moyes is a defender by trade. He will build from the back. We know that. He looks to hold on to, not hold on. I think Moyes will always look to go in at half-time 0-0 and then take it from there, right? And I don't see anything wrong with that. Yes, it's not exciting, but all the excitement we had over the years under Redknapp and all that, what success did we get from it? Now you're going to say, well, what success have we got from this?
What success have we got from this? No, and that is exactly right. Okay, we've had two very, very good seasons by our standards, but they're not successful.
They are for West Ham United.
No.
Yeah, they are. They were successful. You got
to define success.
Well, success for West Ham. It's qualifying for Europe 2 seasons on the spin. That's success.
Okay. Well, everyone's got a different definition.
It's difficult to argue either way.
Yeah, it's difficult to argue. Yeah.
Look, go on, Gal.
If you set the bar at West Ham as success and say, a cup is success, then fucking hell, no one's going to be a success, are they? I mean, cups for us are some freak event that happens once every millennia, or slightly more than once every millennia, maybe 4 or 5 times.
As good as it was, Gary, there are still some frustrations there. We missed out on the likes of top 6 last year because we didn't reinforce in January. There's still been some frustrations there. We fell away from the league at the end of the season because we couldn't concentrate on 2 competitions physically. Of
course, we know that. We know that. Definitely, January was a fuck up. But we've done that to death, haven't we?
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, so although it was successful in one respect, it was also a bit of a failure because it was a good opportunity to do more. It was. You could look at it both ways.
You could always look at it both ways. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. Sometimes I watch West Ham and I'm bored to tears. I'm totally bored to tears. Of course I am.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I come out with a 1-0 win, I'll go, you know what, we didn't play well, but we won.
Yeah, no, that's it. Keith Fenn here, he said Moyes will be in charge to the end of the season no matter what happens. He won't, Keith. John, if we're loitering in the bottom 3 come January, there is no way we can risk getting relegated. Well, you would stick with him. No. If we was in the bottom 3 in January, you'd stick with him.
No. But I genuinely
I don't think it will happen.
No, I don't think we'll be in a relegation zone in January.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, yeah.
If we are, then there could be, he's gone. But I don't think we will be.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think optimistic. That's just me being, I think, realistic. There's 3, 4, 5 teams worse than us. Okay, we haven't started well, but once it starts, clicking, I genuinely think we've got a very, very good team.
Trodger's made a good point here. The last time that we had a break, we made the most of it during COVID. We really did. I think sometimes we can because when you look at the congested fixture pile-up that we've got, I think we came into our own in that period last year, even though we had a small squad. Because I think sometimes, look, it is hard playing 3 games in a week, but most players, John, would rather play than train, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Look, who finds training boring, isn't it? It's all about the game. It's all about the 90 minutes, isn't it?
Got another Gary. Got a new Gary, part of Gary Club.
What's that?
Gary. I think he thinks he's the only Gary.
Gary Hansen from Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm from Omaha,
Gary,
Nebraska.
welcome.
I think we've got the 4 remaining Garys in the world sort of follow this show.
Fuck off.
What music is Dave? That ain't Dave's real name, is it? Crafty.
Dave
no one's certain.
He misses the intro. Yeah.
I reckon Dave Crafty is the most Cockney geezer you've ever met. I can imagine him. It's Crafty Dave.
Moyes has given us our pride back. I really don't get all the hate, mate. But the thing is, you know what I don't get as well? Yes, there is hate for David Moyes. There is, but it isn't all hate. I think what it is, you've got the extremes where some people are they're just fucking on him, and to a point where it's almost manhunting, and then you've got others that are just frustrated with the fact that we've been shit for a while.
Yeah, I think that look, the brand of football's not great. So I understand people being pissed off with the brand of football. The haters who are just waiting for him to lose a game to twist the knife. I haven't got no time. For people like that. I mean,
you know what? I'm not being horrible, Nick, and I think you might have said this or agreed with someone who said it. But people comparing Moyes to Allardyce is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm not having that. How can anyone compare him to Allardyce?
I made a whole video on that, John. I made a whole video on that.
Look. What I'm saying is, I think you might say no in terms of personality and identical playing styles, no. But in the sense that they're both kind of, I don't know, they're a little bit sort of stuck in their ways. Old-fashioned managers who, I mean, David Moyes. I stand by this, right? I stand by this. If David Moyes manages to do what he's never done, and that is basically change his playing style into something that, and this is a project. This is what they're trying to do. If you read the article that Rob Newman did up on the website, we've gone out, we've identified the fact that our existing style wasn't working. They've gone out and they've bought players who can pass, so that we can change our way that we play, so that we can find different ways of scoring goals. Now, what that means is that Moyes has to coach that. He's never done that before. It's not easy. Managers can't just change their style, and that isn't a dig at Moyes. This would be, if he can manage to do it, he's done part one, which is get the players in. If he can do part two, which is change the habit of a fucking lifetime and be successful at it, it would be his biggest achievement, bar none. He's got that big a task ahead of him in terms of trying to change the way that he plays. It ain't easy.
No, it isn't easy. But do you not think that some of the biggest things he's done is twice coming into West Ham and saving us?
Some of the biggest things that he's done. But look, different managers are good at different things. When David Moyes came in, both of those times, it was almost a very simple job for David Moyes. He comes in, running stats are low. Let's get him running faster. Let's go and get a couple of players in from abroad who just fucking run through brick walls for you. But now it's a bit different. Now we're, we've just got to overachieve. He was very good at that. He's amazing. Yeah. But not all managers are good at either end of the spectrum, are they?
No, of course not. But this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I said about transition. We're transitioning as a club.
Trying to transition.
Yeah. Okay, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Trying to transition as a club, as a team, as a style of play. And yes, Moyes is transitioning himself because he has probably never had this type of player before. He's probably never had. This is probably the most, overly ambitious flair type of players that he's had, namely Paqueta and Scamacca. And, these are big names in Europe for him to be dealing with. So, yes, it is a transitional period for him as well. And he has to change. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Of course he does. I'm sure he knows that.
He is naturally cautious.
He does know it, yeah.
He is naturally cautious. And I think, to an extent, he's right to be cautious because it is all down to results at the end of the day. So he's going to take his time to bed these new players in. It might happen over an extended period to actually get the different parts operating. Not every one of those players we've signed is going to be successful either, right? Because you can't possibly have 100% success rate with your new signings. It never happens.
Right. Oh, hang on 1 minute. I'm going to interject here. Right. Thomas being allowed to go. Well, what are you suggesting there, Kent? Because if you're saying a Flynn, Downs and Thomas at midfield three, then where the bloody hell does Paqueta go? And does that mean that I'm not writing this off, by the way, but in my mind, Flynn Downs sits, Declan Rice is box to box, Thomas has got all of the creative output of a teaspoon, right? He's great. No, he has. He's got amazing goal threat. That is his output. Thomas Souček's output is amazing, but that's all fine. It's the final bit. It's getting on the end of a cross. There is nothing in between that. So for Thomas to occupy a place, and would that not dictate the way that we play? Does that not mean that would mean that we're just getting down the wings, whipping balls in?
It'd be very defensive. It'd be very defensive. I wouldn't like to see that at all. That to me is just a way of prizing Flynn Downs into the team.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah. And he's not going to do that because of Paqueta at the moment. The only one who's going to drop out of that is Flynn Downs if Thomas plays.
What is Kent suggesting? It'll be 4-3-3 or something.
Yeah, but that would be that. Yeah, that'd be a tough, solid midfield, but there'd be no creativity there. Is that what you're saying? 4-5-1.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think because where would Paqueta go? Like you're saying, or Paqueta, where would he go if you're going to play those three? It would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be very narrow as well, wouldn't it?
It would be narrow, but that's the issue with, and like I say, Thomas Souček, he's very good at what he does, but it's very limited what he can do. So you've got to use him for that. I think if you used to stick him in the 10, then
hang on.
That's the issue. Right? That's the issue.
Hang on. Don't overlook the last two games that Souček has played. He's played very well, right?
He's played well by Souček standards.
No, he's played very well. He played well at
You said
Chelsea.
he played well.
In
You
the Villa
mentioned
game
him.
before.
You
So
mentioned him.
He did play well.
you gave him high marks, right? He played well, so he doesn't deserve to be dropped. Flynn Downs came in for the Steaua Bucharest game, played bloody well. That doesn't mean automatically that Souček gets dropped, right? It means that Thomas Souček has now got someone up his arse fighting for that position.
But Gary, we've got to get away from all of this, because this is like the thing with fucking Fabianski being stuck in goal. What you've got to do is you need a manager that can be ruthless, that can play the players on merit, that are going to improve us next game. Not wait, because this is my main issue with David Moyes, is that he needs a sustained period of someone being fucking shit at what they're doing before he'll change it. And then before he'll give someone else a chance. That is not proactive. That's reactive. We need to be proactive at this stage, in my opinion.
That's kind of true. But how do you know? I'm not a judge of what Moyes wants out of those two midfield positions.
He wants
right?
them to sit back and defend. It's why he plays Fornals on the left. It's why he plays Bowen on the right.
And that might be the reason why he continues with Souček. Do something like that, depending who we play against, right?
Surely we don't want to play like that though, moving forwards.
Well, no. Look, if you give me the choice, I'd definitely have Rice and Downs, because I really enjoyed seeing Rice with the shackles off in the second half the other night. I thought it was brilliant.
The thing I'd say is this: I've seen Downs twice this season. In the pre-season friendly against Reading, I saw him on Thursday night against Bucharest. I called for him to start against Forest, because Forest, as we know, are pretty much a championship team, and that's where he cut his cloth.
Yeah.
If he was going to make a Premiership bow before now, it should have been that game.
Yeah.
What's happened in the meantime is, like you two have just alluded to, is that Souček has actually picked up a little bit of form the last two games. So as good as Downs was on Thursday, it was, to quote you, Nick, only against a bunch of farmers or whatever.
It was,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not disputing he was good, because he was very, very good. But I don't think he's going to come in at Everton game. I don't think he's going to come in for the Everton game. I'd like to see him get a Premiership go. Of course I would. But I don't think he's going to come in now when Souček has, by his standards, hit a little bit of form.
Yeah. No, I know. It is difficult. I mean, like I say, I think he's going to try. I think he knows he's going to have to try at some point. I just want him to go, because if we have a go at Everton, I know they're improving and they're picking up, but I think we're a better team than them. I really do.
Fans. Victor Fenn said Barney fans got rid of Lyle, talking to someone, Barney McGrew on here. Yeah, they did actually. They did. If you remember back then, that was terrible. That was heartbreaking actually. Do you remember? For those of you who are old enough, do you remember when that League Cup game midweek at Upton Park? It was just before Lyle got sacked, and we got taken to extra time. It was one that we lost, I think, at home to Barnsley.
Yeah, we
lost in extra time, and at 90 minutes, he walked on the pitch in his long coat, as he always did, and he got booed, and I felt sick. I felt sick. He was booed onto the pitch. John Lyle, fucking legend.
That's horrible. Kent saying here, he was just asking a question. In an ideal world, he'd play a 4-4-2 with Lucas P at the top of the diamond.
I've called 4-4-2 for a few weeks, because I think
Skamaka and Antonio up front would be unbelievable.
But not just that, Nick. I think it would enable our fullbacks who are struggling to do offensive and defensive duties to just concentrate on defensive stuff. And because Cresswell maybe not Soufal, but Cresswell can definitely defend. He's still got that in him, but he can't do the bombing forward up and down anymore. No. So if you go 4-4-2, it would help us up front, but I think it would help us in defence, because it would give the defenders just to concentrate on defending. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can see what Kent's saying there.
I mean, it is interesting, and well done, guys, for behaving yourselves in the chat tonight, because this is a divisive period for West Ham. You've got fans that feel strongly both ways, and we had there was a bit of a nightmare in the chat last week, wasn't there, Gary? So just try and be mindful. Don't get on top of each other. Like, we've all got our own opinions and stuff. Just can't. Yeah. But as you can see,
this is like a risk, isn't it?
The difference. It is a risk, but the difference in opinion is crazy, isn't it?
But that's football, isn't it? Yeah. That is the beauty of football. It's about opinions. It's about respecting other people's opinions. Me and you, Nick, are, I suppose, to some extent, you could say polar opposites of a football fan. But we argue and we bitch, but I still respect your point of view, even if I don't agree.
But I think fundamentally, though, we both want the same thing. We're both.
Every football fan does.
We both
Everyone
want the same thing.
wants success for their club. That's it.
Yeah.
But people's idea of what is success may be different, in my opinion.
Interesting comment from Mandy there, saying the more that Downs was under pressure against Steaua Bucharest, the better he performed. I agree with that. That was one thing that stood out a mile. I don't know if you remember it in the first half, but Kera played a ball to him and he had two attackers right up his arse, Downs. Yeah. He didn't panic. He just very calmly gave the ball back to Kera.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's.
I really would like to see him in the team. I think that when you look at what it is that we're trying to do, apparently, which is start controlling games, Flynn Downs would be a very, very useful player to have in the team.
Yeah, and I think he'll definitely play the whole game on Thursday against is it Silkeborg or something in Denmark? Because that game's going to go ahead, isn't it? The European game's going to go ahead, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think he'll start in that, but I don't think he won't get the start at Everton. I don't think.
No. I would like to see him. I would like to see him start against Everton. But look, I'm not going to kick off if he isn't. Of course, I'm not. I'm just saying. I think we were all desperate to see Flynn Downs, weren't we? To play a full game, and now we've seen him. Is it not even more of a fucking head scratcher that Moyes hasn't fancied him? And does it not feel a little bit like Flynn Downs could be Moyes' latest player that you don't like because maybe he's not a Moyes player?
No, he did play the whole 90 minutes the other night, and you know that when Moyes doesn't fancy a player, they never finish a game, right?
Yeah.
He also made a point of saying he had a poison toe, which stopped him from playing in two games at least. I think the Viborg games, and one other. I think there was 3. So no, I don't think it's the same situation because if you remember back with Král and Vlasic never played 90 minutes once, did he? Král got seconds on the pitch, literally seconds in a couple of games. That was about it.
Well, I think he played a bit initially, Král, didn't he? But I think once Moyes saw that he couldn't be a left winger,
but Moyes, that gave me hope, right? That gave me hope because Moyes, he doesn't leave players on the pitch for 90 minutes. He clearly didn't blame Downs for how shit we looked in the first half, and when he made the changes at half time, he took other players off and left him there, and he just. Because I thought, I heard what you said the other night, Nick, about him not having a great first half. I thought he had a very solid and controlled first half. Me and Paul were talking over there and we said really like the look of him, you know?
Yeah.
And he just got better and better as the night went on.
Yeah, I agree.
He is. He 100%, and I said it after the Reading friendly, he is 100% Mark Noble, Mark II. He plays in exactly the same vein, exactly the same way. And a lot of people might not think that's very glamorous, but you need that person to keep the ball ticking, keep the ball moving.
You do, as Kent's made that point again, hasn't he? Look, Flynn Downs is a great ticker of the ball. He recycles it really well. And that forward ball, that he has got that forward ball in him as well, as we saw with the chance that he created for Scamacca. You know? So
he's got a lot to his game, you know, but a lot of it is unglamorous. It is just keeping the ball moving. But he's a sort of player, you know, like the old Sky Sports used to have player cam. If you had player cam on him, I reckon he checks his shoulder every second. He's just constantly moving the ball, and he looks very good. But big arse. Premier League's a big step up, and I don't think he'll be in for a while, if I'm honest. Pains me to say it.
Some great sarcasm from Howard there, Howard Owls. Dark days. We spent huge amounts on amazing quality in the window. We're top of our Euro group and played City, Chelsea, and Tottenham, I'll add, Howard, in the first month of the league.
Yeah, no. Look,
he's replying to another comment in the chat. Someone said it's dark days.
Yeah, look. This could very quickly turn around this season. Of course, it could. The next 5 games are all kind of games that we should be looking to win. We're not going to win them all, but they're winnable games on paper. They're against teams that are in and around us. They're the games that we've got to win if we want to finish top of that pile. Yeah, so look, it's going to go one of 2 ways, isn't it? Really, I think it's just really important we get off to a good start. I want to start seeing I feel like that team have lost their confidence a little bit. I think you can see it. When we went against Bucharest that last 20 minutes, when we got the goal, the penalty, the lucky fucking penalty. But once we got that, we were a bit of a different team, weren't we? You know, they seemed to. We was really pushing on. I do believe that Fornals was a massitive difference the other day. He was brilliant. You know, he outshone Paqueta in that game.
I mean, Paqueta is at the point where he's doing Not very much, but what he does very well. He does some, he played a couple of very, very nice balls the other night.
Yeah.
There was one across to Antonio, which was just, he can pick those passes out, and I don't think many people can. There's a little bit of Will in the chat is saying, calm down with Dan's fantasy, I suppose, not phantasm.
Yeah, exactly.
He has one good game against a foreign side, and it was a game to forget for some of our players. Downs isn't quite ready to be called the final article. No, I don't think we're saying that.
Well, no,
I think
we're
saying
he can help us. He can help us.
Yeah. And I think there is something that frustrates me with Moyes, and that is when he says he hasn't got much Premier League experience. Well, that's true, but the only way you're going to get Premier League experience is
by playing.
In the Premier League.
Yeah. And this point by Danny, this is worrying, and I think we're looking at this the wrong way. Skamaka's got nothing to prove, Danny. He is a good player. That's not in question. But will Skamaka keep up with the pace of the Premier League? We shall see. He won't if we don't play to his strengths. We've said this before. For instance, when he played against Villa, he spent 60 minutes up front on his own. He might as well have been spinning a cardboard advertising board. We didn't set up to create anything. So it's important if Skamaka's going to thrive and Paqueta's going to thrive. Those are the two players that are hanging over Moyes, in my opinion. They are. They're the ones where the ball are going to be looking at, getting a return out of them. They're going to want him to get a tune out of those players. The only way we're going to get those players playing well is if Moyes adapts to them. We can't just create. I think you always say, John. Yeah, go on.
Right. The other night, he looked off colour, Skamaka. I think, John, you'll agree with that.
But it was
he didn't quite look himself.
Gary, it was the same against Villa. It was the same against Villa.
Let me finish my point. Right. We created 3 very, very good chances for him the other night. He got the service. So you can't say he didn't, right?
But that won't happen in the Premier League. He won't get that much space. He should have buried those chances.
Of course he should, but he did get the service the other night, right? He did get the service. So
and he did in the previous game in Europe as well.
The reason he didn't finish those chances, in my opinion, because he looked drained, because he's been sick for over a week. And any sort of virus takes it out of you. We all said he looked drained.
He looked a couple of kilos lighter.
Yeah. So and the fact is, he wasn't 100% fit. He's only just got over the virus, and he still got into those positions. And I think on any other day when he was fully fit, he would have probably banged one of those in.
Yeah,
that's how I look.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna. I mean, I've seen people on Twitter, going mad about his attitude. I'm like, what are you on about, people? He's just come back from a virus, and he's playing in a meaningless. He's playing in a game which a lot of people have. A lot of people refer to the game as meaningless, don't they?
Yeah, I honestly don't know where some people get off, right? Because I like Twitter. I'm on it a lot, but it is the Wild West. And the only way I can explain it, right? The only way I can explain it is there must be a lot of 13, 14-year-olds on there. Right?
I think there are, yeah.
Because they, because it's the only way I can explain some of these opinions, because they're so fucking childish.
Now, just to interject quickly, we know the ages of some of these people that say these things, and they're not 13 and 14.
Is our mate, the Italian Gary Garino? Skamaka, you can't judge him versus Steaua Bucharest. Guy had been sick for 10 days. And that's what John just said. No, I completely agree with that.
Do you know why I respect Garino now? Not that I never did before, but I respect him massively now because he stopped correcting us on the pronunciation of Skamaka. He's given up.
What's Skamaka?
He's given
up.
What's this? Epic hash time. What's he saying?
Oh, Epic's here.
Yeah, hello, Epic. Ariola makes Fabianski look like Roberto. It's the thing is, we can't have a go at Fabianski. He doesn't pick himself. He's just getting older. Getting older. I think he'd be a thoroughly good backup, in my opinion.
Look at that. I missed this. Just put that message up from Tony Hammer Ryan, Nick, about Ogbonna's message about the Queen. That is brilliant. And he's got no reason to say anything about the Queen.
It's been easy to hate and destroy.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely. That's a mark of but that to me sums up.
It just comes across as a lovely guy, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's top drawer, isn't
he?
Yeah. Right, what's this from Kent? Haller was a top finisher and a good player. We didn't play to strengths. The same thing.
Don't start him
no, this is Kent. Kent talks sense.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about him starting you off.
Will be held as no. What he's saying is what we don't want. We don't want people to start fucking calling him a flop. Listen, we should have learnt from Haller. Haller is not Haller was not a shit player. Okay, we was probably on his back a little bit more than what we should have been. We don't want to do the same to Skamaka, in my opinion. I don't think the fans helped, And the issue that you've got, when you play in a David Moyes system, Antonio looks so good in that system because he's so mobile. He runs the channels, he does everything else. If you do just put a conventional striker in there, anyone. Haaland touches the ball about 9 times a game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He don't really do much else. He just plays on the shoulder. That's all he does.
Will Doyle's comment, Nick, basically says everything you've just said. That's it is a fair point, which is why I'd like to see Antonio with Skamaka up front, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'd love to. That's like a wet dream, isn't it? That's like a wet dream seeing them two play together.
And, if I would have come across that when I was London's best centre half, I would have hated it.
There we go. Look, John Groom, he thinks that if we're going to play Paqueta, if we're going to play 2 Paqueta and Skamaka's strengths, then that does call for downs in midfield. If we're getting it wide for crosses predominantly, exactly that. If that does kind of profile the type of play, and that's not Souček's fault, by the way. But if you've got Souček in there, we're going to be encouraged to revert to type all the time when we get a bit desperate because it's easy. Get the ball wide, get it out to the wings, whip a cross in, a shit cross 9 times out of 10. Because how bad have our deliveries been lately? Just in general,
poor,
from wide
really
areas.
poor. Including the set pieces, right? Not just the crosses. The set pieces have been terrible.
Yeah. Garino's just giving us a pat on the back, John. He said we've passed the course.
Yeah. Cheers, Garino. You Italian stallion, you.
Homework is over. There you go. Yeah, I know. What's that? Howard L says Twitter is 80 to 90% bots. Fucking aggressive bots, aren't they? Some of the things they come out with. Jesus Christ. You wouldn't want to meet them bots, would you?
Wanker bots.
No. Yeah, wanker bots. Yeah. Right, settle down in the chat again now. I'll go back over to it again 1 minute.
No threatening each other in the chat. No one's making up and having a fight.
When Nick changes the view.
Every time I change the view, it starts kicking off again. Right, here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, anyway, guys, drop in. Do you like seeing your comments scrolling? Give us a little bit of feedback on it as well. I think it's quite it's quite good. I mean, certainly for this show at the moment, Gary. No, you can see the comments, can't you? Obviously, you can see the comments at the moment because, that's good. Wanker bots. Right, so Garino, if Antonio and Skamaka ever play together with Paqueta behind, they're going to be put in box. Yeah, I know. Could you imagine that? Antonio and Skamaka with Paqueta just behind. That's what Kent said earlier on. 4-4-2 team of the diamond.
If he's going to try that, he's got to try it in Europe, isn't he? First, no. I know they're lesser opposition, but just to get the players used to playing a totally different formation.
Yeah,
he's got to try it in the Silky Ball game or somewhere because he'll never try it at all otherwise. He ain't going to try it in the Premier League, is he? First off.
Chris Lockwood said a few comments ago, why has the 4-4-2 formation disappeared? Well, yeah, I'd like to know that. It's like the other night when
Brentford play a 4-4-2. It looks on paper like a 4-3-3. It's not. They play 4-4-2. Mbeumo and Tony up front.
But the other night, because you weren't the only one that noticed this, Nick. Me and Paul were watching the game. We thought, blimey, he's uninverted the wingers. He's put them on their natural side.
Yeah, I know. And it was shit, wasn't it?
It was rubbish. Wasn't
it bad? I won't be asking for that again.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it again. I ain't sold on Cornet when we bought him. I'm not sold.
No. Well, the show that I did last night, there was quite a few people that disagreed with me. They thought he played really well.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, look again. Like Skamaka, we can't go. And it was actually Mandy G, who was in the chat tonight. She made a really good point. She said Cornet was a £17 million player. He's not going to ring bells constantly. He's going to be a good squad player. I think that's probably right.
Yeah,
that's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Nick, you always say women don't know about football, yet Mandy's.
I don't ever say that, John. Don't ever say that.
You say it off air all the time.
I'll never say that, Mandy. What's this? Halle, please give it a rest. He was shitting our team. This is Peter. See, Peter Jones is the other end of the spectrum. I'm going to pick on Peter. Right, Peter has he prays to Moyes. He prays to Moyes every morning. He does love David Moyes. He's very much in it.
David Moyes.
No, but what I mean is he's an in David Moyes I trust kind of guy. Now that's fine and that's good. But what I'm saying is, he kind of refuses to accept. Whenever there's anything going wrong, that David Moyes could possibly do something better. He could, I'm sure. Peter, I reckon if you spoke to David Moyes, he would probably admit himself that he could do some things better than what he's doing at the moment.
Therefore, aim this question at Peter directly.
Go on,
Peter. Do you think that Moyes needs to transition and change with the players he's got, or do you think he'll change with the players he's now brought in? Because if Peter is as Moyes,
he does. He loves Moyes, which is fine. That's fine. But I'm saying he's the other end of the spectrum. He's the other end of the spectrum. Yeah.
I know it's ancient history now. With Haller, but I do genuinely believe that in the last 6 months he was with the club, he had given up all hope. And
in the end, he did. I think he'd lost the will to live. I think he'd lost the will to live in the end. He wanted to go.
If you remember, when Moyes first came here on his second stint, he did put Haller in the team a fair bit. Right, he did get a lot of chances. He got a lot of chances, but it just didn't work because he was probably using him wrong. Granted, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't working for him. And then after he got dropped, and he was coming on for little sub appearances, his heart weren't in it anymore. We could see that, but I think we saw, that was what I was thinking at the time. I was thinking like, he's just not very good. He's not suited to the Premier League. But then when he went over and did what he did with Ajax, and you suddenly see
in the Champions League as well, he was doing it.
Yeah, you suddenly see he was a very good player playing against top teams, and we really should have done better with him.
I know. Yeah, and like I say, there are parallels with him and Scamacca. We've gone out. Now, what I'm saying is, what I mean is, it's good, Gary, because we've gone out and we've gone and got another very, very good striker. But this time, let's make him look good. Let's get some support around him.
Yeah, chalk and cheese in playing style though, because he's a player that does like the rough and tumble. It does like to come deep and get the ball rather than wait for people to come up and support him if they used him in his correct way. Also, Scamacca is not a beast in the air. Haller was a beast in the air.
He was. Well, he was known. Haller was physical when he was in Germany. He was known as a fucking bulldozer, wasn't he? Wasn't that his nickname?
Yeah, but I didn't see that. I saw him as a bit of a soft touch in the Premier League, to be honest.
He's aerial. I mean, I'm not really one for that.
His aerial.
His aerial success rate was unbelievable.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That's literally the thing he done well for us.
What I'd say about Scamacca already is that we're not playing to his strengths yet. He's been ill for 7 to 10 days. He hasn't played loads of minutes, but he's already got 2 goals. Now, it doesn't matter what competition they're in. Yeah. He's already got 2 goals, and we still haven't found the right way to play with him. He isn't probably used to his teammates yet, and the teammates not used to him. And he's been sick for 7 to 10 days, so missed training. So he's already got 2 goals. I know it was Europa League, so you could poo-poo that. But I think that monkey's off his back. And when you come in as a striker with a high price tag,
it's important that
you
get them goals.
The first goal better. So he's got that confidence there.
He scored a couple of good goals as well, didn't he? It was good goals. Good finish.
And I think Moyes ain't silly. Moyes will, if Scamacca's up to it, Scamacca will be the starting striker, maybe with or without Antonio around him or something. I don't know, but I think that is the aspiration, and I don't think Moyes is that silly. I genuinely don't.
It was a shit night to play football the other night as well. You got to admit it. I mean, that ball, his ball was slipping everywhere, wasn't it? And I mean, so when he's fucking hacked that shot wide. That's the sort of thing that happens in those conditions. I ain't gonna read too much into it.
No. It's his Troj's take on Haller. Built like a Greek god, played like a mouse. He didn't.
A very thick mouse.
No, that's what I thought. I thought he was far too nice for a striker.
Yeah.
Look, Mark. Look at Mark. I'll go and put that one.
What's this? I like how I don't know if I've seen that. He put one cross in. He put one cross in, didn't he? Which
he did put a couple in. Yeah, I suppose he did put a couple in, but
I think what we're looking at the moment is Bowen, who's getting progressively better, but he hasn't reached the levels yet. But again, he was quite good in the second half the other night when he came on.
Oh, look at this! Look at this from Andy Dennis. Moyes' first game back, Haller and Antonio up front, 4-0 versus Bournemouth, and we never saw it again.
Oh, yeah, really?
I remember that.
We never saw it again.
Why did we never see that again? It's a good point. It's a good point, actually. I do remember that. Talking about Scamacca.
It's made me feel quite sad, to be quite honest.
Talking about
what might have been.
Yeah, I know.
Nick, you're going to actually cry, Nick. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
I know.
What
He's
I will
right.
say about
I remember that game now.
yeah, it was a thumping. But Skamaka, even though the other night wasn't fit, I tell you what, he killed. His touches are
Brilliant.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's
Someone I
class.
can't remember. It was pissing. Oh, sorry, it was raining very heavily, and someone drilled the ball at him from about 10 yards away, about 90, and he just killed it dead. His touch is immense. His
Yeah.
first touch is absolute. He kills the ball dead all the time.
He's a
And he
top
brings balls down.
class player. Yeah, he really is.
And we haven't, and we've only seen 25% of him. So
He's
far,
he's gonna need. He deserves good supply, and I think we've gone out and bought an amazing number 10 who can feed him the bullets. But I do just think that Moyes now, his next challenge is just going to be finding the formula and coaching this team so that we can basically make the best of all of these new parts that we've just bought. You know.
So someone's just said in the Chris Lockwood has said start 2 strikers on Thursday. So we are playing on Thursday, right? Away to Silkeborg.
Yeah, it'll go on. It'll go ahead for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll go ahead for sure. You know what we've. You know, I think. Is it the Europa League? All the games in the group have to be done by. Is it the end of October or something really early
before the World Cup?
Garino's just made it worse.
Why?
We saw Haller and Antonio later versus Southampton. We won 3-1. Then we never saw it again. So we played 2 up front twice, won 4-0 once and 3-1 once.
Oh God!
Fucking figure that out. What is that all about?
See, I'm now starting to have me doubts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have me doubts.
Someone put in the chat, if we went 2 up front, who would miss out?
Well, Souček from central midfield. It's quite simple.
I genuinely believe that if we went 2 up front as Skamaka and Antonio, I think the whole inverted wingers things is not needed anymore, because you just need to get the crosses in on a stronger foot, and the more crosses the better. Because Antonio, don't forget, Antonio's good in the air as well.
you want supply then, because what you can imagine is, when you're playing 2 up front, with the way we play at the moment, it's very easy for teams to mitigate our threat. So like when we play Brighton, they put 2 players on Benny. Well, if you've got, I think you used a term a little while ago, Gary, didn't you? A very good way of putting it. If you've if you've got tons of threats in that forward line, if you've got a lot of them, then it's not easy to mitigate against. If the centre backs are occupying Skamaka and Antonio, then that means that the likes of Benny and Bowen have got a straight run at the fullback.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we should be looking at. What we should be looking at.
But that is quite sad. That's kind of
that hasn't quite worked
tonight. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know that has put me on a bit of a downer thinking about it. Actually, you start to think, why? In hindsight, would he look back at that and think, I made a right balls up there?
Well,
I wonder why it happened.
He would have to see the Haller thing anyway as a source of failure, because of how well Haller's gone on and done. Because we basically gave him away. That's almost what we did.
Was there an injury or something like that? Did Antonio get injured, or did Haller get injured, or something?
I think what was happening was Antonio got injured. Haller came in. The minute Antonio was back, Haller was back on the bench again. He liked Antonio up front because of the work that he did. I don't know. It's very frustrating, to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Danny, Barnum agree. It makes me laugh. Sings East does it. Sorry.
Mate, I'll meet West Ham fans. I'll meet West Ham fans now in the ground from all over the country. It's mental. It's mad.
Our next big test in the Premier League is away at Liverpool. Oh no, it's not, mate. Our next big test is the next 5 games. They're the games that we've got to win. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. I wish we just looked at these games like a free hit. I do.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said we should go for it.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do. I don't.
Who we got? We got Silkeborg, whatever they're called on third.
Forget Europe. What we had Newcastle that was this week just gone. We had Everton, Wolves, Fulham, and Southampton.
Southampton away is not easy.
Yeah, but the games that we've got to look to be getting something out of, though, aren't they? These games.
Fulham and Wolves are 3-pointers. We've got to win them because they're home games, yeah? I think we can win at Everton, but Southampton always fills me with doubt. I mean, getting a draw there would be okay by my standards, but only if we pick up points in the other games.
I know. Peter Jones, if you don't worship a miracle worker, I have no sympathy for you.
Hold on, I'm looking back at this because that worried me.
I don't know about that.
That worried me a little bit, and it didn't ring true, right? But we beat Bournemouth on the 1st of January 2020 4-0, right? The next game was away to Gillingham, which I went to, which we won 2-0. Someone got injured in that game. I can't remember who it was, but someone got injured in that game because I remember him going off. Who was it? So something happened, and then we didn't play Southampton straight after that. Our next game was Sheffield United in the Premier League, and we lost 1-0. And then we drew 1-1 home to Everton. Then we lost 4-1 away to Leicester. We went on a terrible run.
Haller and Antonio, neither of those two were injured after that game, Gary, after Bournemouth. Unless Antonio got injured, was he playing in that game?
Well, all I'm saying is that Haller played a load of consecutive games. I'm looking at Haller's record here. He played a load of consecutive games. He played Bournemouth on the 1st of January.
Andy Dennis, look, he thinks that Antonio got injured or Haller, one of the two.
I think he might have done. Let's have a look at that Gillingham game because I remember someone going off.
Why did we not ever revert to it when they was both back available again? Is what I'm trying to say.
Things had changed. The season dynamic had changed. Gary said we went on a poor run, so the mentality changes to going two up front to saying let's try and hold on for a point here because we're in trouble. No,
yeah,
maybe.
I
don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
The season changes in 3 or 4 games, and then the mentality should change. I suppose.
Peter's answers your question, John.
What's that?
That you asked him earlier on.
Changing the tactics of the team, he will because he has to now. He's got a reasonable squad. Listen, Peter, that's how I see it. But the problem is because we have a lot of people that are not anti-Moyes, but questioning him, shall we say now. If he doesn't, then he's making a rod for his own back to some degree. And that's what I worry about, But he did make changes on Thursday, okay, against Bucharest, whatever. He made 3 subs at half time, and we've never seen him do that.
Do you know why that is, though, didn't you? Because I actually identified this the other day. He did it against Villa, and he did it against almost did it against Bucharest as well. I know Paqueta's thrown in the mix now, but effectively what he does is he's tried something different. And basically what he does is at half-time, he goes, fuck that, don't like that, ain't working, reverts back to type at half-time. But that's what it is. He reverts immediately back to type at half-time. And it works. Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, but what you're saying is he tried something new, but because it's new, he has to persist with it. We were shocking in the first half.
I know.
Yeah, but you're saying it like a little bit of a side swipe.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying. No. I think he was proactive in those games. What I'm saying is he reverted back to what he knew. So what I'm suggesting is if we are ever going to make a go of changing the way that we play, at some point Moyes is going to have to stick with a new type of play because he's going to have to. Otherwise, they're never ever going to get used to it. If you keep on giving them an easy way out, which it is, the way that we play typically is an easy way out. It's lazy football. It's hold your shape, and then you get the ball. No, it's lazy mentally. Because
results have got to come first. Results have got to come first. You don't just deliberately say, "Oh, I'm going to carry on trying this thing that clearly ain't working." You don't do that. I think, looking at what Garino said,
is this a Newcastle
Mandy
fan?
said. Yeah, Mandy said that Antonio Paqueta to Newcastle in January window. Yeah,
don't think so.
They couldn't even pronounce his name up there, the bloody idiots.
Paqueta.
I used to think Joe
Linton. You're doing great, Paqueta.
I used to think Joe Linton was called Joe Linton, not Joel Linton.
They
call him Joe Linton. It's Joe Linton.
Yeah, see, I thought that as well. That's actually his surname, isn't it? Joe Linton.
Yeah. That's one thing that Eddie Howe has done very well. He's actually turned a dud of a striker into a brilliant fucking midfielder. He's done that well.
He looks like Eddie Howe. I can't take him seriously. He looks like a cartoon character. I can't take him seriously.
It's becoming fashionable, though, isn't it? I mean, Chelsea have followed the lead with Potter. So getting in young English managers now, it's good to see him. Look, it's good to see him getting a chance, isn't it?
Yeah,
I suppose that is.
I think when he fails there and gets a bullet, it will come to us. That'll probably be about the right time then, won't it? Good timing.
Potter.
Oh, I thought you said when Eddie Howe gets the bullet. I was going to say they don't shoot him in the head; they usually chop their heads off.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say.
So
that.
what we got here?
Andy Dennis going with Cornet and Bowen. We've got 4 options as striker.
Yeah, we have got more and more options to some extent across the field, across the pitch.
I don't know about Cornet as a striker though. I think he's a good.
No,
not Cornet.
Yeah,
not Bowen either. Not Bowen either.
Stufau, Emerson, Oggy. So who's he putting? What?
He's gone for
Oggy. Oh, left
Kira,
back
is that
Emerson.
Kira Knightley you got in there? The
Kira
playing
Knightley. I wouldn't want to start there.
Rice.
So who's Rice in centre mid with?
He's putting him in central midfield, isn't he? No, he's not.
Stufau, Emerson, Oggy,
I'm confused.
Kira.
I'm confused.
That's very attacking midfield, isn't it? That's a very attacking midfield.
It's a very attacking midfield,
yeah.
Oh, he's having a diamond.
Rice.
He's saying Rice will be the back end of the diamond. Paqueta will be the top end of the diamond.
Ah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Left and right of the diamond. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's, yeah, I mean, I'm playing Oggy there as well. Oggy's obviously more of a ball player than Zuma as well, but I think
problem with that.
Go on.
There's one problem with that lineup. I don't think Benny and Paqueta are allowed to play in the same team.
No, it won't happen. They're seen as luxury players.
Yeah,
it's too much luxury.
One or the other.
Yeah. Mentality's got to be right no matter who you play in the Premier League. You'll agree with that, John, from Trinity Hammer.
Yeah, 100%. Of course.
Yeah,
it's all about the mentality, and the players are the ones that give the mentality, though.
Yeah.
The mentality when on the pitch. I'm very pro manager to the extent of once the players go out on the pitch, they're giving it their all for their profession. They're professionals, and I'm a little bit sort of you do as you're told. That's how I am. That's how I see football should be. But unfortunately, the player power it isn't. You know what I mean? But
what did you think the other night about this thing? A comment from Danny about he was in block 221 as Trevor Brookings stand. Let's not forget the Stoy Bucharest fans who clapped the Queen.
They were brilliant.
Yeah, I thought they were great. I mean, there was I was in the Bobby Moore lower, and there was a line of Stoya fans in front of us, and they were annoying a few people just by. Now, listen, I never know celebrating, but other people in the stand apparently did, and obviously, once the stewards start leading them out, you get the "Don't hold me back" merchants, don't you? Standing behind their mate, fucking, going, you're fucking, giving it all that, giving it all the big one, And like I said to someone on the way out, I said, look, they're from Romania. They've probably been in much tougher places than this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Phil Watch. Look, boys, only found this channel in the last month or so. Absolutely brilliant. You and West Ham Fan TV. Oh, thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Yeah.
What's the other channel he's mentioned? What are they called?
West Ham Fan TV.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, but they don't look like Babe Station. They don't look like Babe Station, do they?
No, that's it.
Well, they haven't got the looks for Babe Station. We clearly have, so that's what
what's this one? Obsidian Curse. He made halftime changes because he could pull Benny and Scamacca. He wouldn't have pulled Antonio. That is a good point. If it was the other way round and Bowen and no, John, answer me truthfully. If Antonio and Bowen were on in the first half, would he have made those changes at halftime?
Okay, what I think I am starting to think Benny gets a raw deal, right? So I'll give you that one. But with Scamacca, I don't genuinely. I think they would have had the conversation and said to him, "Look, you've been out for 10 days. We're going to give you 45, no matter what." And I think that was the deal before the game because he looked knackered. But Benny, I mean, Bowen. Look, Bowen should have been pulled off a cup. Oh, sorry, it's not that sort of channel. But Bowen should have been substituted.
Will be in a few weeks.
Bowen should have been substituted a few games already in the season, and he hasn't. But the thing is that it's a mentality thing, right, from the manager, and we know what Bowen did last season, and we're all waiting for that moment to come back. And when you have a player on there who has a threat, okay, you may not have the threat at this moment, but we know it's in his locker, and the goals he scored, it is sometimes very difficult to go, you know what, I'm going to take him off because you think if I leave him on, he might get that moment of magic, might come back. Yeah. And it's only because of what he did last season. But I agree, he should have been pulled off this season a few times. Benny won't.
Yeah.
Benny won't be given that luxury.
No.
I thought Benny again was any one of the midfielders really, or attackers if you want, could have been pulled off. And it was a shame it was Benny again because it just stinks of, and I don't like to say it because I don't really agree with it, and I hope maybe it's more hope than anything else. I don't think Moyes dislikes him, but people are going to say that, and I think it's starting to become a little bit of an issue, isn't it? If not already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is Danny.
I missed the last bit. I missed the last bit.
Gary,
where he
I was
said-
in block 221 to Trevor Brooking stand. Let's not forget Steaua Bucharest fans who clapped and applauded the Queen. I thought they were amazing until one knobhead frozen objects at my head. Gary endured a similar life-threatening experience when
I was
we went
almost killed.
when we went away to Arsenal, didn't we, Gary? And you got
I mentioned it every day for a month.
I got coined in the head by the nasty Arsenal fans, and the worst thing, the thing that hurt my pride the most was it was a 2p. 2p. Cheap bastards.
That's all you're worth, Gary. That's all you're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need points in the league. Yeah, results do come first. They do. We can't even, I'll tell you what, it's going to be panic stations if heaven forbid. Especially after the spend. If we're anywhere near the bottom three come Christmas,
Can I ask you a question, Nick? Can I ask you a question, Nick?
Go on.
You are a big advocate of exciting, attacking football, as I am, right? But if we, as people,
I'm not. But what I'm saying is, don't paint it up as smashing. Like what I'm saying is like gun ho, like 8 forwards. I'm not saying that.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, right? You are a bit of a FIFA merchant, though. But what I would say is, if we shithoused, out of 5 games we're talking about, if we shithoused, as people called it, 1-0 wins in 4 of those games, would you still be like? Oh,
if you gave me that now, I'd take it.
But
I wouldn't enjoy. I wouldn't enjoy it. It doesn't really solve our problem, but it fixes that initial panic of the risk of going down. It gives us those points that we need. But if you attempt to shithouse and it doesn't work, that is a problem, because it's one thing playing. It's one thing playing like that if you win, but if you play like that and you don't win, then you've got to expect criticism.
If David Moyes was Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho, and he devised a master plan in a game and won 1-0, they would call it tactical genius. But because it's David Moyes, they call it old-fashioned football.
No, because but what I'm saying is it wouldn't be tactical genius because he does the same thing every week.
But I'm saying if it
it's true what John says though. It's true what John says though. They will write. A lot of people
that is right. When top teams, if someone plays a long ball from the back, it's not a long ball. It's a long pass. It's a long pass. Yeah. Kent Hammers. When everyone is fit, would you play Kera at right back?
I would 100%.
I think
because Soufal's a massive problem for a start.
Yeah. He's a weak link. We've sorted out some other weak links, and now he is appearing as the weak link.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I said this on the show last night, and I meant it sincerely. I genuinely do feel sorry for Soufal and Souček, because I know why everyone loves those 2 players, because they're all heart, they're all industry, they're brilliant. But when they came in, they transformed us. They were very, very important. But the last 2 years, we've progressed really quickly, and it is sad we have outgrown them, in my opinion. We've outgrown both players. They just haven't really got it technically, have they, the pair of them? I don't think. It is a shame.
I think that the only thing is if we put Kera right back, is that in a 4-4-2?
You could play him right of a 3, or you could play him as a right back. Right. What about a wing back? Because he's got pace. I reckon he could play. He's got a great cross. Did you see the crosses he put in?
I was just going to say that because he is rapid.
Yeah.
But then if you put him, I mean, does he play that position naturally for anyone previous, Germany or PSG? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Right? I think we've got to be careful because he is clearly the organizer of the back line right now. Right? He's very vocal. He's leading Zuma, and I
wouldn't take him out of the back line at the moment.
No. At the moment, I would keep him in. I wouldn't be surprised if long term you end up, because you remember that rumor we had the other day about how West Ham tried to move Zuma on in the summer. That surprised me, but then. Then you hear that he's got, is a sort of injury that, it's like not quite as bad as a Ledley King, but it's a long-term injury that Zuma's got. So it's not surprising. It's also not surprising we didn't manage to move him on if he's in that condition. But it does surprise me over and over again that when Zuma is playing alongside Dawson, Zuma looks brilliant. When he's playing alongside of Bonner, he looks brilliant. When he's playing alongside Kera, now he's suddenly started to look strong again. Yeah, right. Zuma needs a leader to play next to him.
I think also Gary having a centre back with a little bit of pace will give him confidence as well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, but Nick, Gary's right there though, because Dawson isn't blessed with pace. But what Gary's saying there is, and we've mentioned
he
it.
Needs leading. He needs leading, doesn't he?
Zuma is so quiet. He don't seem to say a thing.
Yeah.
He don't seem to orchestrate anything. And I think Zuma's been good for us. You know, I'm not questioning him at all. But I can sort of see why now Chelsea didn't really fancy him. I know he played a lot of games, but he was out on loan. He was in and out of the team. And I think that his lack of pace, which I didn't realise until he came to West Ham, was there. And maybe his lack of leadership was a bit of a reason why they didn't keep hold of him, you know?
Yeah.
Because look, let's be honest, when we got him, we was all praising that deal. We couldn't believe our luck. And I still think he's a top centre back.
No, I do. I think he's a good centre back. But as we've heard about Zuma, we do know he was signed with an injury. He's still carrying that injury now. Well, that's what we've been told, isn't it? He's still carrying that injury now.
I dispute that because I don't agree with that. If he's carrying an injury, and I don't care how much Moyes wanted him, David Sullivan and Gold, they're the ones spending the money or the club's money. They wouldn't go out and buy a lame horse if he thought it was that bad. Surely, I might be wrong.
Look, it's obviously manageable, isn't it? But I think we can all see that there's a bit of a problem with the way that he runs, isn't there? I will say Trozier, Bowen's penalty was better than Rice's, but you know what? As great as that was from Bowen, it was really good because he had a lot of time to ponder that. Big pat on the back for Rice for actually accepting that he's a duffer at penalties and he let someone else have a go. So I think that's because look, obviously I think he felt the pressure to replicate what Noble was doing, didn't he?
Hold on, I've got a call into question, right? John Ash as he's querying our credentials in the chat. He said Claret and booze, one drinking Coke and John drinking Carlin. I don't.
Where's that?
I don't think anyone is drink. I don't think anyone drank Carlin anymore. Yeah,
hang on a minute. I've had Sam McGill. Thank you very much.
And what's the guy in Triple Blue Nun? It's like, oh, brilliant. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm actually drinking water tonight. I've got a meeting early tomorrow, so I can't do anything. You know.
Hang on, John. John, what are you drinking, John? A nice cup of tea, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a school night, mate. Yeah, I've had 3 already. What do you want?
To be fair, he's not producing a show called Claret and Booze, though, is he? That's that. Yeah, probably is a fair point.
We should stay true to the brand. So to the brand. So well spotted, John.
Yeah.
We'll be having it. We'll be drinking next Sunday.
We're getting lashed.
Don't you worry about that.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Monday off.
Yeah.
I have to work. I'm working that day.
No. Hang on. Next Sunday night, right? We can do this show, and I can have a skinful because it's the Queen's funeral on the Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't though. I'm going to do something for the Queen. Black cab drivers, you know.
How about?
Oh no, but that's Monday, isn't it? That's Monday.
How about this angle from Epic Hash Time? Right now, this is a different way of putting it, and it's respectful, and it is right. It's a right way of saying it. If you think that Moyes has got us so far, yeah, look. So Moyes has taken us to the next level, but he's not the manager to manage a squad of world-class players. I think that's a fair way of putting it.
Well, what I would say is you cannot say if he's good enough to manage a squad of world-class.
Not yet.
You can't, because he's never had that opportunity before. I know when he went to Man United, he had a bit of a stinker, but every manager since Alex Ferguson has had a bit of a stinker. So I think I want to take that out of it. Let's concentrate on when he was at Everton, when he was at West Ham. He hasn't had the type of players that he's got now, so it's a big ask for him, and I just hope he can step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. Too much straight line running on Thursday from Benny, slowing the attack down. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he was poor. It looked like he'd never played on the right before.
That might have been because if you're right-footed playing on the right, you're going to run down the wing. If you're right-footed playing on the left, you're going to chop inside. So I think that's clearly what happens when you play someone on their stronger foot.
Get that comment up, Danny Wimbledon to Worthing. Get him up a minute.
Well, hang on.
Get him up on the screen now.
Go on.
Yellow badge or green badge? Mate, I'm a green badge, mate, yeah? All of London. I don't go Worthing or south of the river, but I'll take you anywhere you want to go. All right? Sorry.
And he won't take you anywhere but Essex if he's on his way home.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. When I get an Essex job, I love it. Oh, it's like a dream come true.
He does. So you got a green badge, have you, John?
Nick, I've known you 35 years, mate. What badge have I got? This is so cheesy.
There you got sound effects.
I feel like I'm on it. What is this? Is this Live and Kicking with Philip Schofield? What is this? He's been waiting to do that all night. Look at his little face.
I forgot I had it, to be honest. Right.
Yeah, of course you did.
What's this epic hash song? I didn't want Zoom. Oh, do you know what? I'm not gutty we got Zoomer. I thought I was happy with either or. But I was a little gutted that we didn't get Milenkovic. I think he's a very good player. Well, you know, we're still linked with him, although we don't need any more centre backs, do we?
No, we've got about 27 there.
We don't need any more, do we? Yeah. I mean,
no, Agred will be uninjured soon.
See this one from Cape Figure. Zuma needs a CAT scan on his knee.
Nick, don't put the comment up on screen, but ban Andy Dennis. Ban him. Don't even acknowledge his comment.
This Andy here.
Yeah.
I won't say what I would normally say down the pub, but why are they attacking me?
Right, okay. We've been up for a while. That's an hour and 20 minutes. So I think should we wrap it up tonight? As it is a Sunday night. And then what we'll do is we'll do a proper booze up next Sunday. We'll do a long session. Hopefully we'll have some football to discuss.
We'll get drunk.
We'll do it properly. So give us some feedback in the comments anyway. Let us know what you thought of the new format if you enjoyed it.
Nick's new toy. Nick's been playing with it for 48 hours.
So go on, Gary. Do you want to close us?
Yeah, no. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for all your comments. I hope you like the new look and feel. It looks pretty good from this end. I don't know. I can't set my own green screen. It feels too much like Nick is in control. Like John said, he's like the captain. We can't even put a fucking comment up, right? But anyway, it seems to have worked quite well. But so thank you all for joining. We'll see you soon. We'll be doing some individual shows in the week, our daily rambles. Until then, see you soon, and come on, you irons.
Look at his little face. Look, he loves the power. Look at his little face. Cool.